Fine motor skills in young children. I'm going to tell you a story about pinto beans, show you something really cool, and then give you the link to a free little lesson that you can use with your kids. So yesterday, excuse me, I was downstairs making dinner, and my 16-year-old texts me and says, "Mom, can you please bring me up a cup of dried pinto beans?" And I thought, this is odd. The child is sick in bed with COVID at the moment. He's fine, but he and his older brother are quarantined at the moment. And so what an odd request to get a request for dried pinto beans. And I'm like, sure, buddy, what do you need them for? And he's like, a weight in something. So I go up there later and look at what he had created. Okay, he needed dried pinto beans as the weight in the bottom. It's a bean bag, so that the little bird owl can sit on a shelf. This child's 16, and he's a master crocheter. You can see that. I mean, look at his skill. He's really come so far. But I started teaching him the fine motor skill of crocheting when he was 4, because he was driving everybody crazy during story time, and he needed something quiet to do while everybody else was listening to the story or doing history or writing or math or whatnot. So I taught him how to make a simple chain stitch in crocheting. And I did this for multiple reasons. Number one, yarn is really quiet, but I had to cheat a little bit. I had to trick him. I'm glad I did, but I had to trick him. I said, I bet I can teach you how to make a chain stitch, and I bet you can make the world's longest chain. Now, I have 5 sons, and a couple things inspire boys more than anything. The words, "on your mark, get set, go," that works almost every time. But the other thing is, "I bet you can't," oh, that's all they needed for the buy-in. So he was 4, and I taught him how to do a simple chain. Over the course of the next year or so, then it turned into, at nap time, rest time, we would sit back in the room in the quiet, and I started to teach him how to put on rows with crocheting. And over the course of the last 11 years, he has developed his crocheting skills. Now, he's a very male, normal boy, but he absolutely loves to create. And he's, over the years, made blankets and beanies and all sorts of stuff. Well, when COVID happened back in the beginning, 2020, he found these little characters online. They're called amigurumis, and he decided to see if he could make them. Dozens of them later, he has bins and bins of these things that he's made, and he's made some beautiful things. Well, as a homeschool mom, I thought, well, how can I use his talent for doing fine motor things? How can we use this as a homeschool lesson while also serving our community? And I said, would you be willing to teach an online crocheting class? And that's the link that you're going to find in the descriptions below. He's like, yeah, I think I would love to do that. So not the owl, but he made these little whales, and he can pump out a whale in about a half an hour. They're super cute, super fast. And so he broke down all of the skills necessary to make this little amigurumi whale, and we set up a photo shooting studio, and he filmed the lessons one at a time. Well, you're looking for fine motor skills for your young child, and they might not for years be ready to do something like a little owl or an amigurumi. However, you can start them with a chain stitch. And inside of, my son's name is Stephen, inside of his Stitching with Stephen class, he has all sorts of stuff. He has the lessons of when you make a mistake, rip it out. And so he's a kid telling kids it's okay to not be perfect. But inside his class, I just unlocked the chain stitch lesson inside of his class so that you can access that for free with your young kids. Now, if you've ever wanted to learn how to crochet, he does a great job teaching, so he can teach you as well. But there is so much benefit to encouraging a child to sit quietly and to work with yarn and to create something. It really, really, really exercises these fine motor skills. And in today's world, they're really underdeveloped because kids use their thumbs, or they're using technology, they're typing, or they're using styluses and stuff. So we need to work overtime to develop our kids' fine motor skills. And crocheting is one of those things that is kind of an out-of-the-box activity in today's world, but it's very rhythmic and relaxing and very rewarding. Now, a warning, it can be frustrating. So if your kids are young, or they're just getting started, or you're just getting started, start with a simple chain stitch and try to get it so that you practice, so that the stitches are nice and even. But the benefits of crocheting really, really help develop these fine motor muscles. And so that's what I have for you today, is I wanted to let you know that, down the road, as you practice, as your kids practice, they might get excited to create little things like this. And if they do, Stephen's class is ready and waiting for them. It's already recorded, it's already great, and super easy to follow. I know I'm his mom, but he did a really great job. And the little whales are really cute. So they don't take that much yarn, and they just need some plastic safety eyes. But right now, today, you can go in there and you can follow along and see how he did his class as you and your kids learn how to do a chain stitch, and then start to make it a part of your child's quiet time. So when you're reading, or you're watching a show at the end of the day, or in a special time with just you, sit and work on the chain stitch together and encourage it as a habit. One of the reasons that it became a habit with my son was that I sat down with him and chain stitched with him at least a couple times a week. And it encouraged that fellowship, it encouraged relationship building, it encouraged his confidence. Plus it gave me some extra cozies with my son, which I just loved, and he still will sit and cozy with me while he's crocheting. So that's it. If you're looking for fine motor skills in young children, don't neglect some of those old skills like crocheting or knitting or sewing on a button. They're life skills, but they can also be sanity savers. If my son didn't know how to crochet during the pandemic, he would have gone insane. This child cannot sit still. He's a kinesthetic body action type learner and needs to be in constant motion. And the benefit of being able to use his hands to create something really super cute helped him stay sane. So at 16, with 11 years of experience, what he will do is he will put on an audiobook and he will listen to the book as he is creating something with crocheting. So he actually listens to the audiobooks at twice the speed or 2.5 times the speed, because he needs to move that much, that he needs to try to catch up with his brain. But I would like to encourage you to check out his class, and you scroll down, and I'm gonna flip my phone around and avoid all the mess in my kitchen. Ready? The screen will look like this on the chain stitch. It'll look like this, and then when you just once you click over and you find the section over here on the side, so there's a sidebar, you'll find the part that says chain stitching, and then you'll be able to hook in there. So when you go to the actual site, at first it will look like this. Dun, dun, dun. It'll look like this. It says Stitching with Stephen. And then you could purchase a course if you wanted to, but if you want to just give it a try, you scroll down here to where it says chain stitching, and you click on there, and then it'll bring you right to the lesson that you and your kids can do together. And that great? So take advantage of it. Comment when you are on the video. You've stayed this long, so go ahead and subscribe and like and hit the bell. But when you do his chain stitch lesson, give him some love. The kid is 16. He recorded this class when he was just, it's like 14 or 15. So give him some love and encouragement, and let us know if your kids fall in love with chain stitching too. Have a great day. See you soon.